This is the Skyrov Zone Fly More combo, and I picked it up because I wanted a tiny drone I could toss in my bag and actually trust for real filming. I am always on the move, hiking, traveling, and doing quick shoots for short videos, and I needed something light, quiet, and safe that would not slow me down with a complicated setup. The Zone lives in that under 250-gram space where you get the convenience of a very small drone without giving up the features that matter. It is not a toy, and it is not one of those big pro rigs either. It sits right in that sweet spot for travelers, hikers, and creators who want solid video, obstacle sensing, and reliable control without carrying a brick all day. I mainly chose it because I wanted omnidirectional obstacle sensing and true vertical video in a super compact body, and I did not want to deal with a lot of extra accessories just to get started. Setting it up took less time than I expected. The Fly More combo includes the remote, 3 batteries, the charging hub, and the cables, so I had everything I needed out of the box. I connected my phone to the controller with the included universal serial bus cable, logged into the app, and did a quick firmware update. I did notice that the app is a little picky about the order you plug things in. If I connected the cable before opening the app, sometimes it would not recognize the drone. Doing it in the app first, then the cable, fixed that for me. Once I figured out that little routine, it was fine. The first satellite lock was quick, and after that it has been consistent. In the air, the Zone feels steady and confident. Hovering in a breeze, it holds position really well. On a beach day with gusty wind, I watched the arms pitch and correct, and the gimbal kept the horizon perfectly level. The sound profile is more of a soft low hum than that sharp mosquito whine a lot of small drones have, which made me more comfortable flying around people without drawing too much attention. It is not silent, but it is less annoying than many compact drones I have flown. The camera is what I notice most. I shoot almost everything in 4K at 60 frames per second because I like to slow clips a bit in editing, and the footage has been clean and sharp. In the middle of the day, it handles bright skies and shadows well, and I rarely see that crunchy, over-sharpened look that cheap cameras get. At dusk, the super night mode is actually useful. I flew over a dim street with a few warm lights and got usable color without the dancing noise I expect from small sensors. If you're filming at night, you still need to pick your scenes wisely and avoid flying through pure darkness, but I came back with shots I would post without hesitation. Vertical video with the gimbal rotating 90 degrees is the sleeper feature I did not know I would use this much. Framing tall buildings, waterfalls, or a person walking down a narrow path is easier when the camera actually turns. I get the full field of view without cropping a horizontal frame later, so everything feels wider and more natural in the vertical format. If you make short vertical content, this alone is worth considering. The obstacle sensing is the thing that changes how I fly. With sensors watching all around, I felt comfortable sliding sideways to get that classic trucking shot through trees at the park. When a branch came into view, the Zone did not just slam on the brakes every time. Sometimes it eased around it and kept moving. It is not a magic shield. I did manage to make it hesitate when I rode my bike under thick foliage, and once it stopped rather than decide a path. That is expected, and I would rather it pause than pick a bad route. For someone who shoots alone and cannot always track every branch while watching the screen, this feels like a safety net that lets me try more creative moves. Range and signal have been solid. I am not chasing distance records, but I did push it out to about 1.5 miles in an open field and still had a smooth live view. In a neighborhood with a lot of wireless interference, I stayed within a half mile and had a reliable feed with just a couple of brief stutters. Control stayed responsive through everything. I never felt like I was fighting lag. When I flew behind a row of garages, the live view lowered in quality for a moment, but I never lost control authority. That is the kind of behavior I want. Keep control first and let the video adjust itself. Battery life has been close to what I hoped for. The claim is up to around 32 minutes per battery. In real flights, I usually land around 26 to 28 minutes before I get nervous. With 3 batteries, I easily cover a full short filming session with breaks between flights. The charging hub cycles them efficiently, and I can top everything off during lunch from a wall charger or a power bank. I also like that the combo gives me enough batteries that I do not feel like I am rationing every minute. A few quirks are worth knowing. There is no internal storage, so if you forget your micro-secure digital card, you are not recording anything. I did that once and it was a hard lesson. The gimbal cover is a little finicky. It snaps on tight, but it takes a couple of tries to line up the tabs. The body is very light plastic, which is obviously how it stays under that weight limit. It feels sturdy enough, but it does not have that heavy, dense feel you get with bigger drones. I had a tiny cosmetic panel near a leg that lifted slightly after a dozen flights. It did not affect flight, and a small touch of adhesive fixed it. It makes me think this drone prefers a case when traveling in a stuffed backpack. The controller is comfortable, but I wish there were an option with a built-in screen. Using a phone is fine, though the cable routing can be fiddly if you keep a thick case on your phone. Now the part that matters most to me is how it compares to what I used before. My last compact drone from a well-known brand was rock solid on software and had great image quality, but it only had forward and downward sensors and no true vertical camera. I had to be much more careful flying sideways or backward, and I had to crop for vertical, which always changed the feel of the shot. With the Zone, I lose a little of that ultra-polished app feeling, but I gain obstacle sensing all around and a vertical gimbal, and that shifts the shots I can get in a single flight. I also used a more expensive compact drone a while back that had pro color profiles and a slightly smoother live feed. It felt more premium, yes, but when I graded the footage side by side for social videos, the difference did not matter enough for the kind of quick content I make. If you rely on a very specific flat color profile or a controller with a built-in screen, you might lean to those higher-end options. If you want an easy carry camera drone that delivers strong 4K video, smart safety, and true vertical shooting, this makes a lot of sense. There's also the travel factor. In the United States, because it is under 250 grams, I did not need to register it for recreational use or deal with remote identification, which made quick flights around Sunrise a lot less complicated. Definitely double-check your local rules and whether you are flying recreationally or for work, but for me that weight class is a real convenience. Value for money is where the Zone earns its keep. I am getting features that used to sit behind a much higher price with other models, and I am not compromising on the shots I care about. The combination of 3 batteries, omnidirectional obstacle sensing, reliable signal, and that rotating camera has made it my default travel drone. If I am packing for a day hike, it goes in the bag without me thinking twice. I can trust it to come home safely and give me clips I want to use. If you're someone who wants a light drone to travel with, who cares about clean 4K footage, who shoots vertical often, and who wants an extra layer of protection flying near trees, I would say the Skyrover Zone Fly More combo is worth it. If you are the type who needs pro-level accessories, a built-in screen on the controller, or a deep accessory catalog on day one, you might feel a bit limited. For me, the trade-off is more than fair, and the footage speaks for itself. If you have questions about anything I did not cover, drop them in the comments. Tell me what you want me to test next, like high-wind flights, more night scenes, or a simple beginner setup walkthrough. I read everything and I will try to help. Check the comments of this video for a link to see the current pricing of the Skyrover Zone Fly More combo. Thank you for watching.